Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can probably tell by the title of the video, the topic is going to be about my future. Actually, no, my future in triathlon kind of sounds a little bit deep, but it's going to be sort of my next year's plan going forward with triathlon. I'll explain it all, but before I get onto all of that, I do have a session in for today because obviously I'm still training for triathlon. And the session is a over-unders bike session. I've chosen to do this one indoors for the first time in months, I've got to say. Basically, the last like 3 or 4 weeks, it's been dumb hot in England. I'm not built for it. It's been like maybe close to 30 degrees every day, and it's like 22, 23 today. So I think that's just about acceptable to have an indoor session. So the session consists of 20 minutes easy spin, and then 3 sets of 60 second zone 3, 30 second zone 5, and then that 6 times over with a 3-minute easy spin in between. I hope that makes sense. If not, just drop it in the comments and I'll type it out for you. For the zone 3 sort of efforts, I'm going to be aiming for around 240, 245 watts. And then the zone 5 efforts will be around 325, 330 watts. So yeah, like I say, before I talk about sort of my next year's goals in triathlon, and do make sure you stick around for that, because hopefully it'll be quite exciting. It's going to hopefully mean a lot more video opportunities. And yeah, it should be good. So stick around for that. But first, like I say, let's get the bike set up on Zwift, hopefully not overheat, and get this session done. Let's see. Let's get it set up.
Rather be alone in my zone writing poems. When I get in, I take a shower, read a book and feel empowered. Smoking on that sour got me counting down the hours, thinking of all the shit that they could do but won't allow us. Then I realized they all some cowards. The world is ours. Me and my brother twin like the towers, and we.
I'm just getting my warm-up started. And 2 things to note. Firstly, if you've seen any of my older videos, you will know that yes, I am zwifting, using Zwift, riding on Zwift in my downstairs bathroom. It's basically the only space that we've got where I'm able to do it, and my other half doesn't get too annoyed at me being in it. And secondly, I've decided to go with 3 bottles because although I said the temperature has dropped, I don't think it's dropped enough. I'm literally just sweating getting on the bike, like getting set up. So I think probably going to be a sweaty one today. So,
want it now, never later, no more favors. Done with all these traders who be haters on the low. They just hate to see you grow. So I'd rather be alone in my zone writing poems, cause I'm never on the road. And I'd rather stay at home, and life been moving fast lately, trying to get a grasp, and every day I'm mad lately. Never let it drive me crazy. You do this for my old lady, yeah.
They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our shit, and thank God for our chance to breathe. They told us stay quiet, better close your lips. We never thought we'd get our chance to speak. So we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for our chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
CX, you change, but a bunch of people feelings. Reaching for the top, and now I ain't got no ceilings. Pour me up a cup or 2 so it can stop the bleeding. Roll me up a spliff or 2, and now I'm hella weeded, cause I'm feeling like I want it, but I don't know if I need it. Took a few L's, but that undefeated. Same shit, different day, why this so repeated? If we don't talk no more, it's probably cause I felt mistreated. Bad enough I don't hear excuses, trust me, you could keep it. Saw it coming from a mile away once I peeped it. Caught up in that.
Yes, that was my extremely sweaty socks after an hour on the bike. But yeah, that's the bike complete. Just been up, had a quick shower because you did not want to see the state that I was in after that. How did the bike go? All in all, went well. Apart from it being extremely hot and extremely sweaty, I actually ended up using all 3 of the bottles which I made, which was a bit surprising, but I'm glad I made them in the end. I'll stick the data up here as well so you can see that whilst I'm quickly talking about it. Yeah, for my first sort of actual like monitored efforts, I suppose, and they're only small efforts, they're not anything too crazy. It went really well. It went better than I was expecting. The numbers were easy to hit. 250 watts actually felt surprisingly easy. That's usually meant to be like zone 3 tempo, and tempo is usually like a sort of just slightly uncomfortably hard, like annoying, like to the point where you either just want to go harder or a little bit easier. But it felt fine actually, almost verging on easy. And what was surprising, it was after the sort of bigger efforts, the 330 watt efforts or whatever they were, I was recovering really quickly at 250 watts, which is a really surprising but good sign. Now into potentially the reason that you clicked on this video is, what are my race plans? What is my triathlon plans going forward for the end of this year and into 2023? Before I actually talk about going forward, I'm kind of going to bring you up to where I am now, because I know I haven't, if you've been following the channel a while, you know that I used to make a fair few videos, maybe 1 or 2 a week. The start of this year, I didn't make any. There is a reason for that. I did my Ironman in June or July of last year. If you haven't watched it, I'll stick the video up here. It went really well. I trained hard for it for about, I don't know, 7 months maybe. Did it in 10:37, super happy. And then after that, I kind of was like, right, I've been training hard for however long. I kind of want a bit of a break from training. I did what I kind of set out to do. So then I had a break basically. I still trained, but I just didn't do, it wasn't, and it was still structured training to a point, but I weren't really in it, I suppose. And then that kind of stayed on for a few months until maybe like October. And then sort of Christmas hit, I suppose. And Christmas is obviously like a weird period, isn't it, where it's horrible, well, it is in England anyway, it's horrible outdoors. You can't really get outside for any training because it's just wet and miserable, which puts you off training. Also, there's so many nice foods and alcohol and all of that, blah, blah, blah. So I still kept up with some sort of training. It was a lot less structured, it was a lot less often, but I was still doing it and still enjoying it. I weren't training for anything specific, wasn't doing much training. And yeah, basically it wasn't very structured training. Then the new year came, and that kind of just, my goals were to push on and do some more training and get back to sort of like Ironman training, I suppose. That never happened. I kind of just kept doing bits here and there, no structured training again. And basically that just carried on for probably until maybe May. And then by May, the weather started getting nicer, which motivated me more to train. And I started trying to get back into training a little bit. Again, it wasn't very structured at all, and it wasn't massive amounts of training, and it wasn't for anything too specific. I was just doing a bit of running, a bit of cycling basically. Hadn't swam at all, but I've literally just started swimming again like last week or something. So yeah, basically, and then that's kind of been since May to here. That's where I've been. I've done a couple of races this year. Haven't really filmed any of them just because they were just small little local races and hadn't really trained for them, so I didn't know what result I was going to get, but blah, 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 blah. Don't really care about all that. So yeah, now we're up to now. But now things are fully back from here. Full structured training, swimming again, structured bike workouts like that one, will be structured run workouts when my toes fixed. And yes, that's to now. So going forward, my plans are to have I've got one race planned this year. It was going to be the Dorney Lake Triathlon, which I did last year on the 28th or 9th of this month. Can't do it because of my toe, so I pushed that back till October 9th, which it's not a triathlon, unfortunately, which is a bit annoying. It's just a duathlon, standard distance duathlon, which will still be fun, and it'll be good to get a race in. after some sort of specific, like some structured training and proper training, and kind of see how that goes. But then basically my plan is just from here until like the start of the season next year is to basically just go balls to the wall. I want to do literally almost literally do everything that I can to have the best off season possible. I've never had a structured off season, and then following that, next year, race plans, when the season starts, I want to, kind of following on from having a really good off season, I really want to have a good season next year. I want to plan out properly some races. I've got a few in mind. I kind of want to do maybe 3 middle distance triathlons. I am thinking about doing another long distance triathlon towards the end of the season, maybe, I don't know, maybe August, maybe September, we'll see. But yeah, towards the end of the season, if I do that, I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but definitely want to do at least 3 middle distance triathlons, maybe a couple of standard distance triathlons, and then possibly like some runs, like little run events or local events that pop up here and there. But I want to not just do these events and do them sort of half-assed, I suppose. I want to see what I've got next year, basically. After having this year of it sort of being a little bit of training and enjoying myself and blah, 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 it's not annoyed me, but it feels almost like I've wasted a year, because I had such a good year last year training for Ironman that this year I felt like I've taken a step back. And so basically next year, I want to take like 2 steps, 3 steps forward, and I want to put everything I've got into it and see where I can go with it, really. That is going to be my plan going forward. So having said that, if any of you know of any good races, I'm probably going to have to all be in the UK because I ain't that rich. So yeah, any good races in the UK, close to Essex as possible, that'd even be a bonus. Then please let me know in the comments, because I'm going to start trying to sort of plan things out, I think, from now, and get some sort of season plan together, or at least start thinking about it anyway. But I've been rambling on. You're probably bored. In fact, you probably switched off. But those of you that haven't, I appreciate you sticking around and listening. And that'll be it. Any race ideas or comments or feelings or whatever you want to say in the comments below, I get back to every comment. So please feel free to ask questions or let me know thoughts and suggestions. And please like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and I am trying to grow it. Yeah, it's quick, it's easy, and it'll make my day. Well, that was a bit cheesy. I'm going to go before I say anything else that's a bit weird. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one for some more triathlon related content. Peace.
Thought we'd get our chance to speak, so we just stay grinding, trying to hold our chips, and thank God for a chance to breathe. So let us breathe in.
CX, you change, but a bunch of people feel us. Reaching for the